Hey guys, Jalen here from Team Burning Infinity doing a little deck profile of my Darkness Dragon Rule deck. Judging by the title, you probably thought this would be Joey's. This is more of my take of Darkness Dragon World. My playstyle, my kind of deck. Um, it's a bit more tempo based. Joey goes for rush. Mine is a little bit of that, but it's a bit more tempo because I'm trying to mostly stop my opponent in their tracks and start going in when I feel like it, and it makes them play suit to more my speed rather than them keep going absolutely whatever they want to do. So I just really enjoyed this deck, and there's one difference in this deck I would make if I had the extra card, but I don't at the moment. But I definitely just wanted to show you guys this profile, so let me just get on with it. Of course, we have a buddy and a flag. I chose Black Dragon Tyrannus to be my buddy. He's just a 1,000 Rapier clone. Most people don't play 4 of him. I love 4 of him. I love his art. I think this is a really great card because 1,000 Rapier clones are just good. Um, Now we went to the size 1s. We have 2 Black Dragon Decipants. It's pretty much a Spike Troll clone, 3/3/2, pay 1 gauge. It's a really good card because I just need to get 3 crit in with this deck sometimes. Like I said, this is tempo, so I just need to get some damage in when I can, and I can just start playing around my opponent's plays. That's what pretty much tempo is like, and I really play a lot more suited to that play style. We have 4 Death Dragon, Death Gauge Dragon. Death Gauge Dragon is just, of course, one of the best cards in this world. Um, just allowing you to do 2 damage by killing something with its 6,000 power and only 1 gauge to call it. It's a really great card. It just allows me to go after my opponent's monsters, and they're gonna be too frightened to take all that damage. Especially with an end game card I have in this deck, my impact. But you'll see that later. Then we have for my buddy Black Dragon Tyrannus. So that's 10 size 1s. Then we get on to the 12 size 2s. We start off with 2, I'm just making sure, sorry. 2 Death Wizard Dragon. Death Wizard Dragon is just pretty much a King of Fours Vlatarog, but you take 1 damage also. But that's really great with a spell I'm going to show you later in the deck. So taking 1 damage isn't that bad unless you're at like really low life, and since this is Darkness Dragon World, there's no way to gain life really other than Black Dragon Shield. So this is a really iffy card. If you really like this or not, play it or not. But if you need to gauge, definitely I should say play this over like anything else. But this is just a really great monster. Size 2, 3/2/2. Just the 2 crit is just a really good thing to have. Other than that, his stats are pretty meh. We have 3 Death Ruler Pain. I know this is a Black Dragon deck, but Death Ruler Pain is just a really good card because it has 9,000 power. So I don't feel like siding this. I wouldn't be playing 3. The third one would honestly be a Death Grip if I had another one, but I don't. I only have 3 currently, so I'm playing 3 Death Ruler Pain for the meanwhile. But he's still definitely a good card. 9,000 power and 2 crit, so he has dual purpose. Same thing goes for Black Dragon Dividers. 3 whole crit, 6,000 power, 2,000 defense. I mean, 2,000 defense is kind of common in this deck. There's not really anything with good defense in Darkness Dragon World in general. But this is definitely one of the great cards. Just having 6,000 power and 3 crit all in 1 monster is just really great to have. Then lastly with my size 2s, we have 4 Black Dragon El Huracan. I really like this card over Bloody Moon. Bloody Moon does definitely have more base power and more base crit, and a Spectre Strike 1 is a good side option. But I just really like this because it is more suited to how my deck works, because I'm trying to get my opponent to be too scared to want to call monsters, or either so, I will just keep bombarding their monsters with attacks, and it would do more damage than if I attacked them directly. So it makes them more scared and waste more nullifiers, and it can just get me closer to my end game. So I really like this card, and it's more suited to my playstyle and my deck. So now we go on to the 20 spells. We start off with the spells referring to before. Guillotine Cutter. Guillotine Cutter is a simple, pretty interesting card. When you can only cast this when you are dealt damage. You pay 1 gauge, and you can counter destroy any item or spell. Now, the reason why this is so good is because, like I said before, Death Wizard, if I can just grab him for a second, Death Wizard deals you 1 damage and gives you 2 gauge. So instantly calling him and having a guillotine cutter means you can destroy any set spell or an item of your choice, just countering it. So you call this, then you get 2 gauge and you take 1 damage. The dealt 1 damage is damage is dealt. So now you can cast this in your hand. Cast it, pay one of the 2 gauge you just gained, and then bam, you can destroy an item or spell. That is absolutely insane. And also a really great thing about it is, say your opponent misplays, like usually most people should be going for their weapon. If like say your whole field is open, your center's open or something, they attack with a monster directly at you first. You take damage from the monster. Now you can just counter and you can just use this as the counter and destroy their item if they have one, if they were going to deal damage with it. So definitely a really great card. We got 2 Black Revenger. This is pretty much a continue, but you have to be at 5 less life. You pay 1 gauge, and then you add back a size 1 and a size 2 from your drop zone. Pretty much, it's a continue, but you don't have to forcefully call them. And it doesn't matter what thing they're from, what any attribute or anything. It's just literally just any size 1 or size 2. So it's definitely a really great card. Life Break 5. Be able to get back your monsters only for a simple 1 gauge. Really good. Then we got 2 Dark Energy. It's pretty much a Wrath trigger, but instead of just allowing the card to remain on field and giving a counterattack, just like Wrath trigger, you don't have to pay a life for it, and it can save any one of your monsters, and it gives them counterattack. And this works so well in the deck because things like El Huracan, for example, look how much power it has, 6,000 and then 2,000 defense. Even though it won't raise the defense, counterattack would most likely go off because 6,000 power compared to like anything with like lower defense would just die. So definitely a really great card. You don't want to play more usually because this is way too reliant on having a monster. So it's not like Ancient World where you always have a monster. So definitely should play 2. Abyss Symphony, Life Break 6 version of Survival Chance or Nice One, whatever you want to call it. So pay 1 gauge, draw 2 cards. Really great card, definitely, because you can just simply take 4 damage after like taking like 2 crit, like two crit monsters or 2 crit cards in any way. Just take it twice and then bam, you're able to activate your Nice One. So definitely a really, really good card. 3 Death Grips. Unfortunately, I would be playing 4 because it suits more the deck's playstyle if I play 4 because pretty much it just allows me to shut down an opponent's plays with the counter destruction of destroying a size 2 or less for pretty much the simplest 1 gauge. So it's definitely a really great card. Would be running at 4. Really great removal, very powerful, just like Pillar of Fire. Probably just as good as Pillar of Fire. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. I think they're equal. Next we have Midnight Shadow, which is pretty much a Solomon Shield clone. Just if it's not a link attack, you can nullify the attack. So very simple. Then we have Black Dragon Shield, which is pretty much a Green Dragon Shield, but it can also be a Chillax, and it's free. So as long as you don't have a center, you get a Chillax, and that's just really great. Probably one of the best nullifiers in the game next to Blue Dragon Shield. So that's it for the 20 spells. Whoops. Now we're on to items. We've got 4 Evil Death Scythe. Evil Death Scythe is just a really great card. 4/2, pay 1 gauge, and that's Spectral Strike 1. So it has got a really good power and base crit just so you can go in for damage or kill something. And if you kill something, now you get a bonus of getting Spectral Strike 1. So that's why I really think this is a good primary weapon. And the secondary weapon is Black Sword Heartbreaker. 3/2, simple vanilla weapon. You equip it for free. I don't really dislike this card. I usually dislike vanilla weapons, but in this deck it really works. But I wouldn't play 4 of this like Joey does, because this card is decent, but it's not what I need. I think this is definitely what I need for my playstyle, but this is more suited to his playstyle. That's why he plays 4 and plays 2 of this. But in my opinion, I played 4 of this and 2 of that. Either way, now I go on to my impact. Demonic Strike Arts, Death Requiem. Death Requiem, you may only cast your opponents at 3 or less life, and they have no monsters on the field. So then you pay 2 gauge, you deal 3 damage. Now, this is definitely a really awesome card because just with all the Special Strike monsters like El Huracan and Death Gaze, and you have the 3 crit monsters like Black Dragon Dividers and Black Dragon Decipins, it just allows you to get a lot of pressure going. And once again, the Evil Death Scythe even causes 2 damage or 1 damage guaranteed. unless they nullify it, but that's fine because you can definitely keep going for lots of damage and more damage in this deck, putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. So this card just absolutely, in like the simplest 2 gauge, just allow, like, lots of things are not very costly in this deck, and then with Death Wizard, it allows you to just start going in. So that's why I really enjoy this deck, and I really enjoy its playstyle, and I hope to play this a lot more in matches. But either way, hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to Team Burning. But either way, I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to Team Burning Infinity for more Buddy Fight videos, and stick around Wednesday for my pros and cons. See you guys later. Joe and going out.